second paragraph on the second column. Now, if you see on the top, it says that this is a Sicha from Parshas Shemini. Essentially, the Rebbe in the Sicha is making a certain correspondence between the number 8, which is beyond the number 7 and the cycle of 7, and it has to do with Moshiach's times, and the number 50, which is the 50th day of Sfira Shavuos. So you have the 49 days, that's 7 times 7. Just like there's a 7, number 7 and 8 is beyond that. So you have 7 times 7 and 50 is beyond that. And he's going to connect that all with the idea of the Geulah, Moshiach's time. Again, second column, second paragraph. The casual mitzvah sphere concerning the mitzvah sphere it says in the Torah, Tisperu chamishim yom. You shall count 50 days. Now the problem with that is that we don't actually count 50 days. They ask about this. All we count is 49 days, like it's 7. Like it says also, Sheva Shavuos Tisperloch. You should count 7 weeks. 7 weeks is only 49 days. And in actuality, the last day that we count the Omer is the 49th. The 50th day is Shavuos. We don't count that day. There is no Sfira that says Hayoim Chamishim Yom Loimer. So why does the Torah say you shall count 50 days? And the answer is Bnei Yisrael that the Jewish people through the counting, through their service, they only can draw down the 49 levels. The way that the term you use over here is gates, but it means 49 levels of Bina, and that's Shiva Shavuos Tisperlach, 7 weeks you shall count to you, which is the idea of the 7 days with which the world was created, which correspond to the 7 spheres. These are things that a Yid can draw down through their avodah. That's as far as what a Yid can reach, the number 7. Since through their service they draw down the 49 gates, so that triggers and that elicits by Hashem a higher level. They give them also from above the 50th gate. And he says also, this is the idea of the number 8. Shemini, that's similar to the number 8, that's beyond the number 7. And in this case, it's beyond the idea of 7 times 7, 7 weeks, Shavuos. For that reason, the drawing down of the 50th gate, the 50th level, is in the Yom Tov of Shavuos, the time of the giving of the Torah. That at the time of the giving of the Torah, it was similar to the revelation that will take place when Moshiach comes. Therefore, it says you shall count 50 days, even though we don't actually count 50, we only count 49. Because also the 50th gate Yidden receive through their avodah, because since when we do our avodah to the fullest by doing 49, so the 50th comes down from above, and therefore it's also accorded to us as if we actually counted 50, as if we actually brought down the 50th, even though we didn't technically bring down the 50th. So the Rebbe goes on now in the connection with the Geulah, even though he mentioned it in passing, but now he's going to connect it even stronger. I say, the emes in truth, the counting of the Omer is a preparation not just for the giving of the Torah, that the giving of the Torah is me'ain hagilui d'la'asad. It's similar to Revelation of Moshiach's time. So then one would say that the counting of the Omer is only a preparation for something that is similar to Moshiach's times. So the Rebbe is going to expand it further and says it's not just Spira, the preparation for Matan Torah, which is similar to Moshiach's times, but even more so, the counting of the Omer is also a preparation for the revelation of Mashiach's times itself. The Rebbe is going to explain how and what's the connection between Sfiras Omer and what will take place with Mashiach's times. It's known the exact expression that it says in the pasuk Kimei Lashon Rabim Tzeis Chomer Mitzrayim, like your days. It says in the plural of you going out of the land of Mitzrayim. The famous question is, Mitzrayim, they're going out of Mitzrayim, was only during one day, Tesvav Nisan. On the 15th of Nisan, they crossed the border and they left the land of Mitzrayim. So why does it say Kimei Tzeis Chomer Mitzrayim? Like the days in the plural of you going out of Mitzrayim. The fact, but this might come out more in the Friedrich Rebbe explained, the completion and perfection of the going out of Mitzrayim will only be in the future redemption, speedily, and until Mashiach's times, it still exists constraints and boundaries that we need to free ourselves from them. In other words, a spiritual Mitzrayim from the word Meitzar, constraints that we still are in the midst of leaving. We're constantly freeing ourselves from it until we get to the ultimate freeing ourselves of Mitzrayim, of Mitzarim, V'Gvulim, of constraints when Mashiach comes. Meaning, from the 15th of Nisan in the year 2248. 2448. Nimshach kol ha'eis yitzias b'nei Yisrael v'Mitzrayim. It's an ongoing event of the Yidden going out of Mitzrayim, v'kechol shenimshach hazman, and as time goes on, mis'alim yoyser v'yoyser, we are going up higher and higher. The Rebbe in a footnote explains at great length that even though there might be like dips in the graph of going up, these are only dips, they are only temporary descents, and they're not just even temporary descents, but they're descents that are necessity for a greater ascent. So even if it seems throughout Jewish history from 2448 that we might have gone down and regressed, it's no regression. Everything that we've gone through since then is all part of the ascent. Ad shebekarev mamish tova, until speedily it will come Geulah Asidah, the future redemption. She'oz yetzu legamri Mitzrayim, that then we will go out completely from Mitzrayim. Now, where does Sfiras Omer fit into it? The first service that the Yidden did immediately after going out of the land of Mitzrayim, there was what they did in Mitzrayim. Was Korban Pesach and so on. But what did they do as soon as they left? Was the idea of counting. That of Sfiras Omer, similar to our counting of the Omer, they were counting to the days of Matan Torah. This means the Sfiras Omer Yatzada Rishon Ba'avoida, that the Sfiras Omer is the first step in the Avoida, K'dei Lavoi L'Kimei Tzeischa B'Shleimus, to arrive at your days going out in its complete state, Al Geulah Hasidah, to the future redemption, B'chinas Shemini, which we said, the future redemption is the number 8, just like it's the number 50, it's beyond the 7. According to this, the Rebbe is going to explain a very interesting question. Let me first explain it outside. Sfiras HaOmer is called, it's the counting of and from the Omer. What does that mean? There was, on the second day of Pesach, there was an Omer korban brought. The Omer korban was from the first barley crop that grew in Eretz Yisrael. Barley ripened before wheat, so they brought an offering of an Omer in the Beis Hamikdash on the second day of Pesach. And the counting of the Omer begins from that day of the bringing of the Omer. So that's why it's called Sfiras Omer. So the Korban HaOmer upon which the Spheres Omer is connected with is a carbon. Now in Yiddishkeit in general, we know the day follows the night. Shabbos begins Friday night, Yom Tov begins the night before, etc., etc. The calendar dates all begin from nightfall at night, and that's the first part of the calendar day, and the second part of the calendar day is during the day. The only exception to this rule of the day following the night is when it comes to kodshim. Kodshim is a term which means holy things, meaning the karbonos. When it comes to karbonos, it doesn't work that way. When we say that a carbon can be eaten for a day and a night, so that during the daytime it can be eaten and the following night. So when it comes to karbonos, the night follows the day. Now, Sfiras HaOmer, we know, when we count Sfira, it starts from the night before. And according, if you didn't make it the night before, according to some opinions, you can count the next day, etc., etc. But it starts from the night. But the Sfiras HaOmer was established in continuation of the Karbonis that the night follows the day. So why doesn't Spiras HaOmer, which is connected with the Karbonis, also have the din of the night following the day? And really, we should count from the morning into the night. That's the question that the Rebbe is going to pose over here in Oizbach. According to this one, it's still the reason for the marriage. Spiras HaOmer miskemes b'laylam, that Spiras HaOmer is done at night. And the day follows the night. Why is that so? The offering of the Omer is a carbon. That's what we're counting. The karbonis hadin, when it comes to karbonis, the halacha is that the night follows the day. The ilu b'spiras Omer, as opposed to the counting of the Omer, though technically we are counting how many days passed from the bringing and the offering of the Omer carbon, the halacha is that the day follows the night. The ain't moving, it's not understood. Since the mitzvah is to count the days from when it was offered and from when it was sacrificed. If so, why will the halacha of counting the Omer be different than the halacha of offering it? They're linked. So if the offering is a carbon and a carbon, the night follows the day. So the counting also is something that the night should follow the day, but it's not that way. Now you could be able to understand it because Spiras HaOmer is connected with the Geulah, and the Geulah we're soon going to see has two components: night following the day and day following the night. Let's see how the Rebbe is going to explain both components that are found in the Geulah. That explanation. This is Hachidish beGeulah Sidol Gabi Yitzias Mitzrayim u'Matan Torah. The novelty in the future redemption over the going out of Mitzrayim and the giving of the Torah is should be Yitzias Mitzrayim v'Afilu u'Matan Torah Hoya Hagilim Elmayla Loya Diavoid. When the Yidden went out of Mitzrayim, it says the King of Kings Hashem revealed himself upon them, like we say in the Haggadah. And even a Matan Torah, it was also something that came from above. It wasn't a matter that was the Yidden drew Hashem down on Har Sinai. Lo Yaidei Avodah, not through their service. The Rebbe right away challenges himself in the parentheses. What do you mean? We just now said they counted 49 days. Shekain after Sofra Tisha V'Arbaim Yom, though they counted 49 days. Lo Hoya as Avshoras B'Meshras Man Kotzar Zeh. It was not in the capability over such a short duration of time, only 7 weeks. Lotzitz B'Koyach Avedosam Bolvad, to go out by the power of their own avodah, mimemtes shari tumah, from the 49 levels of tumah. Ulizdache kol kach, to become so refined, sheyuruyim lekavos haTorah, they should be worthy of receiving the Torah. So therefore, it was never really their doing of the receiving the Torah, both going out of Mitzrayim, both the giving of the Torah was all from above, and this manifested itself in what occurred with the Eden after Matan Torah. Therefore, after the shofar blew Matan Torah, after the giving of the Torah, the world remained in its core state to such a degree that could even have been followed by the sin of the golden calf. The sin of the golden calf is the root for all sins following it, and that's the reason why it says that Hashem said that any time when I'm going to punish them for any other wrongdoing that they do, I'm going to mix in a little bit of the punishment of the golden calf, because the Chet Egel has to do with all the other sins that followed it. How is that possible? Because we never really changed the world itself. We never totally changed ourselves. It was something from above. As opposed to the future redemption, since it will be a result of the avoid of the Yidden, it began with going on Mitzrayim. Not only to refine oneself, to refine one's portion and one's lot in the world, because of our service and our work, the world will be a vessel and a receptacle to receive the revelation from above in an internalized fashion. Like it says, that the glory of Hashem will become revealed, and all flesh will see. What? Why does it say all flesh will see? Why does it say all people will see? The world will be so refined that even physical flesh will be able to see the glory of Hashem. We just now said that we are doing it. On the other hand, the avoid of created beings is not sufficient of a vessel for the revelation of the future time. They call them up and still and all, like we said earlier, that's what Pnimi is. After doing all the avoida and what we are able to do, so then it will be given a revelation from above in a way that Hashem himself is giving it, and in a way that it is internalized. In other words, like we said before, that the 49 days of counting leads to a 50th day being given from above. The same thing, the entire period leading up to Moshiach's time is our avodah, which enables and encourages and brings down that Hashem will give us from above the great revelation of Moshiach's times. So therefore, we have two components to the Geulah: what we do and what Hashem does. And both of them are part and parcel of the Geulah process. The Rebbe says, Nimtza comes out. Revelations of the future redemption have the two extremes. Aleph, first of all, Yizgala urge from the Eilah Lagamri Min HaOlam, will become revealed a light that is completely beyond the world. Even in the most highest type of service, it's impossible to grasp that type of revelation that will be when Moshiach comes. Yet, along with that powerful revelation that will be when Moshiach comes, they'll be completely beyond our ability to draw this down. That revelation will come down within the world and become internalized and part of the world, not like by Matan Torah, where it remained removed from the world and the world was not really transformed, and therefore there was a possibility for negative things to occur. So therefore the Rebbe says, both of these things, both of these components of the future redemption are reflected in the mitzvah Sfiras HaOmer. It's the counting of the Omer is the first avoid in preparation for the future redemption. From its reward, we will know what its very being is. Since the reward of the service. And this reward is in the way of a gift that's coming from above. And that gift is the future redemption of Moshiach's times. So therefore, in the avodah itself, it must reflect both things. Also, in this avodah itself, there's both extremes. Similar to the revelations of the future redemption. Aleph, one thing that there is that's similar and reminds us of the future redemption. Inyan Hasfira, who the idea of Sfiras Omer is limnois as Hayomim Me'ez HaAkrava, to count the days from when the sacrifice is brought. That's the component of Sfiras Omer, which is similar to holy matters, meaning Korbanos. Beis, along with the Sfira component that's connected to Korbanos, the sphere itself is an avodah that prepares the world for revelation, only according to the order of the creation, which is, how was the world created? If you want the revelation to permeate the world, you have to look at how the world is made up. How is the world made up? The world was first First, it was dark, and then it was light, like it says in the beginning of Chumash Bereshis. There was evening, and then it was morning. One day, the day follows the night. So Sfiras Ha'omer combines both because it indicates on both type of things, as we'll soon explain how both things are hinted in this day following the night or the night following the day. The explanation, this is in Kachim, meaning Korbanos, the order is that the night follows the day. It's the opposite of the order of the avodah in the creation, that the creation says first it was evening and then was morning. He say that avodah what's the order of avodah in the creation? It's going from above to below. We got to deal with the world. We got to deal with the darkness. We got to refine the darkness and elevate it. We begin with darkness. By day, avodah, and through our working with the darkness, the world becomes purified till it becomes a vessel for godly light. That's why it starts with night and it goes to day. Because in holy matters, we're calling it holy. This is something that's coming from above. Something that's coming from above. It's first light, and that light comes down to illuminate the darkness. The beginning is with light. How about the night that follows the day is not darkness like the darkness that precedes the day. It's a darkness that's post-daylight. This is the avoid of refining the spark that comes as a result of the revelation of the light, meaning the idea of the revelation of the light empowers the descent into darkness and to refine it. So that's why when we're dealing with Kodshim, so therefore we have first the day and then the night, because the day revelation impacts and transforms the night. Now, Sfiras Ha'omer brings them both together, both the idea of working from below to above. We have to transform the world. We have to change ourselves. So therefore, we do night and then day. On the other hand, we're also illuminating from above to below. The Rebbe in another place, in another Sichos, points out that the expression of Sfiras Ha'omer we use in that tefillah that we say after Sfiras Ha'omer, we say two things. We have a twofold type of expression over there that we say. We say that through Sfiras Omer, it'll be Kedela Tareinu Miklipaseinu Umitumaseinu. It'll cleanse us, purify us from our clippers and from our impurity. And then it goes on, Kadeshi Yitaru Nafshis Amchi Yisrael Mizumasam, to become purified, your nation Yisrael, from their Tumah. And then it says, Ve'etoir ve'eskadish b'kedusha shel Maila, become purified and sanctified with the holiness of above. And then we'll have a revelation from above. Like we said, the 50th gate that follows the 49. In addition to our avodah, there's a revelation by Dezeh Yushbarav B'chol La'ilmus. Through that avodah, it's like the kachim that comes from above to below. A great flow comes down in all the worlds. L'saknis nafsheseinu, to repair our souls, urchaseinu v'nitmeseinu, and our ruach and our neshama. Mikol sigu p'gam, from any type of dross or any type of blemish. And to purify us and to sanctify us in your holiness from above. So again, we see what we're doing from below, and we see what's going on from above. So again, the Sfiras Ha'omer, Shavidasi, Birun Mal the Sfiras Ha'omer, the Avodah is the refinement that's coming from below to above. To refine the world until it'll be a vessel for the future redemption. I say that who the order is, but first there's dark and then there's light. Refining the darkness of the world and the way from below to above. That's why in the mitzvah Sfiras Ha'omer, the day follows the night. We have to count by night, and then if we didn't count by night, so we go on into the day. But still in all, that doesn't negate the carbon component, along with the fact that the avoid of Sfiras Ha'omer is going from below to above. Sfira Yamshakla carbon, the Sfira is a continuation of the carbon. The Loiminus means to say, Shabba avoid this Sfira Yeshna Kayachal Kodshim, and the avoid of Sfira, there is also the power of holy matter. Gili Armal Milo, a revelation of light from above. The avodah Sfira that comes down through the avodah of the Sfira. By the way, it's interesting, the expression when he uses about the avodah of Sfira. So Taka says terms having to do with the Kedusha. In other words, the beginning, when he talks about the Sfira that we're doing from below. So over there, the beginning of the Sfira, he says, L'tareinu, to cleanse us, miklipaseinu matumaseinu. And then again, he says, then afterwards, when he says, Yiratmu panecha, should be the will before you, he says a higher level. It should be Yisukah Mashugam to Sfira, and then he says Ve'etoyer ve'eskadesh, not just purified, but it should become sanctified b'kedusha shel Maila, and the sanctification of above. And then again he goes on, and to purify us and to sanctify us, meaning sanctification is something that comes from above, in addition to the purification from below. That's corresponding to the idea of kachim that's coming from above. Loimar means to say, there's the power of kachim, a revelation of light from above. Should come down through the avoid of sfira, b'pnimius, in the inner level, ba'olam, that it permeates the world. Geulah mitzvah shleima, the true complete redemption through Moshiach Tzidkenu, the car of mamash that will come about from Moshiach Tzidkenu speedily mamash.